All right, everybody. Monkey Puzzle here. And let's get into some of the Outer Worlds. All right, I'm over here in game. And hopefully OBS will pick it up. There it is. I tried not to click in the window because I've learned that when you aren't in the game for a minute, it starts to spin around. It's a nice cinematic. But anyway, I'm picking up not from where I left off at the end of the last stream. I've played it once now for about 3.5 hours, 3 hours, and I had a great time. And I did it in a Twitch stream, and then I've been uploading the episodes to YouTube in little half-hour segments. The problem is, halfway through my stream, which I didn't find out until I was editing, I cut off my mic audio. I coughed, and I was... I was courteous enough to mute the cough, but then I guess I double pressed when I was putting the mic back on, and I wasn't observant enough, and so I lost my mic audio for the rest of it. So luckily, I had a quick save I'd done right here that is just about 10 minutes after the audio cut out. I had just picked up Parvati, and we had come from Edgewater over here, which is over there. The thing you missed is me dying a few times as I learned how to do the combat in this game, right over there. I'm kind of glad you missed that. I'm getting better now. I was just getting used to what combat is like in this game. It looks like it's just about to be night here, but that won't be too bad. So an hour and a half of what comes next I've already seen before, but that is taught me a few things. I'm going to take a few cues from that. I think I'm still going to make the same choice I made before. So we're on a mission right now where I'd gone to Edgewater. Well, first, what happened in the game, just to catch you all up, is that I was picked out of cryo hibernation by some crazy mad scientist, and we all on our ship, the ship, I guess, had gone out of light speed, and we were in cryo 60 years longer than we were supposed to be. So the future has progressed into the present, and we are late to our date here. A lot of things have happened already that I'm just about to find out about, or am finding out about. And dude sent me down, the crazy mad scientist sent me down to meet with this hustler guy, this I forget his title, what he was, but I was supposed to meet up with him, but my drop pod landed on top of him, and he was killed. And so we went to go find his ship. His ship needs a power regulator in order to be a functioning ship, but now it's my ship, sort of, due to some verbal calisthenics by the AI on there, Ada, which I'm trying to remember what that's from. I know there's other Adas named, or other AIs named Ada, at least one significant one. I forget if that was on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or somewhere else there was an Ada. I've seen a couple AI movies. Maybe it was from that. Anyway, that's some nod to that. Anyway, the nearest town here is a company town run by a company called Spacer's Choice, and there's all kinds of corporate BS around that. And I got a mission there. I'm trying to get this power regulator to fix my ship, and apparently there is a geothermal plant somewhere that is sending power both to Edgewater and to where we're going right now, which is a little encampment of rebels, people who have left the company town in order to form their own community, and they're doing it in these botanical labs that were left behind by, or I guess they're kind of abandoned or something by this company. Anyway, yeah, the company's still going, but there's marauders and crazy beasts everywhere else that want to kill you. And then so there's these rebels over here. I'm supposed to go visit them, and the way the leader of this town, Reed Thompson, suggested I get the regulator is by shutting off their power, taking their regulator, and forcing them to go back to town. So I'm supposed to convince them to rejoin here. And when I got this quest, I was hoping there was an option to do the opposite, divert the power to the labs and then take a power regulator from Edgewater instead, because that's the anti-corporate move. And haven't gotten that choice yet. We'll see if I do. But right now we're on this mission over here to go visit the rebels, the deserters, the people who left the company town, which you're not supposed to do. Along the way, picked up Parvati, who is my first companion. She's pretty cool.
Where are we headed?
Where are we headed? She doesn't have any conversation right now, but she's a pretty sensible lady, and she swings a hammer mighty well, especially on the face of the marauders. Let me see. I gotta check out my inventory, remind myself where my weapons are. So far I'm not that well equipped. I've got your basic pistol that you start off with. I've got a sawed-off shotgun, which is okay. Actually, that's not better than the pistol as far as DPS. All right. You can choose whether you get raw damage or DPS. DPS is more useful, so we got that. So I guess I'll stick with the pistol, and I've got this saber if in case I run out of bullets. Anyway, there's lots more to go in this game. I've been keeping myself mainly from watching any spoilers, so I know very little of it. I did watch Co-Carnage play a little bit, because I was just going to watch until where he got up to where I am, but apparently he actually found a bunch of other content that I didn't even find between the ship and Edgewater, landing pod and everything. So I stopped watching that too, but I did learn a few things. Anyway, so let's go over here. We got to keep a good eye out. I know right here is fine, but the Marauders can kick my butt. We're not that powerful yet. And it's tough to be powerful because you got to divide your points up.
Move along, stranger. We don't want it.
We discovered it. Oh, you don't want? I'm all kinds of trouble here. Hello. Why don't we put our gun away, which we can do, which I'm very glad for, and go say hello to Grace Romero. What's up, Grace?
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
She got a nice hat. And a nice jacket there too. Wonder if that's real leather. I'm looking for Adelaide. I need some answers.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals.
With a capital P.
Already got ourselves one of those.
You got one? Every town only needs one philosophical. Let me see. Reed said something about farmer workers living out in the wilderness.
Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Mm-hmm. In more ways than one, I'm sure. Let me see. But she didn't say I couldn't go in. Where can I find Adelaide?
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Trouble with marauders.
You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me.
Yeah.
Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just
Plus,
up
you need
and
to give me a
vanished
side
without
quest.
A trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around. Check this out. This is cool. This shows you the history of everything in your whole conversation, which is really neat. That's a nice touch. Anyway, you could always go looking for her.
I go looking for Zoe. I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around the gun. Hence my dilemma.
That's kind of bad for the one defender to admit that she's the one defender. But that's all right. Any idea where the marauders, any idea where she might be hiding?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
Got yelled at. You snooped around in her room?
Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Uh-huh. Maybe the marauders took her away. How well do you know her?
Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
Okay. Cereal. What's up, Raleigh? How you doing? Serial killers, snap, crackle, and pop. Welcome. How was your movie night over on the Geeks? Hope you guys had a good time. Hope I'm starting late enough that I'm not interfering with that. Not that any of those folks would leave your movies to come over and watch this. So yeah, I'm starting, if you missed it, I'm starting about halfway through where I got last time because of that audio issue. But that's cool. It gives me a chance to fine tune what I do a little bit anyway. Get a little bit of foresight. So, we could, it was good. You just wrapped up the movie night? Okay. You seem so personable. Can't imagine how you didn't get on with her.
She was lazy and thoughtless.
Oh.
But she's still one of our own.
That's right. Maybe the Marauders took her away.
Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why Marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell.
Any chance you could point me somewhere specific and not just out there?
Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll keep an eye out.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone.
Okay, there we go. We got the quest.
Place. She could be anywhere.
All right. This is cruel. Unless Marauders got to her, then parts of her could be in a lot of places. I'll be nice. Don't worry about it. I'll find her.
Appreciate it. Honest.
There you go. All right. I'll leave you be. We talked to her long enough. All right, let's go to the objective of this quest. And let's go talk to Adelaide and get a sense of what these quote-unquote deserters are doing. Let's say hey to somebody over here. What's up? How you doing?
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Okay. You must be Adelaide.
It's so pretty.
It is.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Wow, you watched movies for 13 and a half hours, Raleigh? That sounds awesome. You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother.
Grandmother
The
Green
strange
Thumb.
old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why,
I like how
thank
the
you.
companions butt into conversations.
You're
It's pretty cool.
Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout.
Sprout.
Thomas speaks of you
It's
often.
horticultural.
Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Good to clarify that. Let's not get to that quite yet. Looks like you've made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
I like how she says everything in botanical terms. Why did you leave your own home? Right, Raleigh? This is, I should totally betray this nice lady for the jerk in town. It's a tough choice, man. They really do make you choose here.
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
All right, Grandma Green Thumb. Reed sent me to make peace with you.
Listen,
Doom.
you here on behalf of
Got
that
1800
cold-eyed
XP for saying
reptile?
that.
Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Then we got our mission comes now to power to actually divert the power from the geothermal plant. You're living off power? No. I'm going to try to take the middle ground here. Reed asked you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Right? Corporate power or noble struggle? Are we going to do the corporate thing or the anti-corporate thing here? That's a good question. And you can choose whatever you want to be. You can be evil or good or whatever in here. And that's one of the cool things is you don't have to be the hero. You can actually kill everyone in here. I could murder her right now, even though she's a quest giver. Not that I'm going to do that. That's not the character I'm playing. I don't know if that will ever be, but it's an option there. Raleigh, by the way, how's the audio? Can you hear her just fine? I did a few adjustments and hopefully it's good. Let me see. Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned the geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Your camp has a power regulator. I needed to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator.
There we go.
You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Raleigh says the sound mix is good, so if it's not, it's his fault, not mine. He says, whatever will Monkey Puzzle pick? Well, choice seems obvious to me now. I'll just let you know, it's harder than you think. It's harder than you think. Because I'm speaking as Monkey Puzzle from the future. Okay, I'm going to say, I'll consider it. There's a bunch of other things we can talk to, but we'll just go straight to that.
Trust you will listen to your conscience.
And the funny thing is that me, this stranger, this wild card, they give me this choice. Reed Thompson in town gave me the choice, and now she gives me the choice to do what I want. She should just kill me right now, but no. So let's check out her nice greenhouse. By the way, for folks who don't know, I work with plants in real life, and nurseries and community gardens and stuff, and so guess what I'm partial to? The cannery town or the greenhouse? And these guys are surviving off of growing their own food, which is pretty cool. So check it out. We got a terminal. Let's see if we can... It's unlocked even. All right, let's do a little background check here. Some personal files. Password require. Okay, it's not unlocked. We can hack it. All right, Silent Spring. Oh man, that was a book back in the 60s by Rachel Carson, who first talked about the dangers of pesticides. And Silent Spring is because all the birds and the bees were dead from the pesticides. At least that was the warning. All right, open first entry. Personal files, first entry. May the Eternal bless my first endeavor. It's been 2 days since I walked away from life at the Edgewater Cannery. Fortuitously, the old botanical labs are still operational. Mostly the soil's sour. I'll do what I can, but I'm going to need some powerful fertilizer. I wonder what she does for that. Tired of having the taste of salt tuna lingering on my tongue day in, day out. I want something fresh. Something that grows out of the earth. And let's open the next entry. O'Reilly says, I'm a black thumb myself. That salt tuna doesn't sound half bad. You don't have to grow it. This comes out of a can. Of course, you have to dedicate your life to the factory. And all the weird rules they have, like, I gave medical aid to somebody, and they're like, oh, that's against the law. They shouldn't get medical aid from some other vendor. Personal files, last entry. We found another worker from Edgewater, ex-worker now. Excuse me. Desertion rates must be climbing. I'm not terribly surprised. Reed's style of management has always been tyrannical. I imagine an exodus is brewing. At any rate, the worker was in a sorry state. Fever, shallow breathing, delirious, must have been plagued. I set him right with a diet of greens. He was all better in a couple of weeks, physically, spiritually. He's one of our flock now. Okay, so we return to root. Oh, and check out the experimental notes. First entry. I am hereby repurposing this botanical lab from its original conception as a gear in the soulless automaton of the corporate machine. I have to dedicate someone's life. I'll just run that place, right? Says a Raleigh over in the comments. I am hereby repurposing this botanical lab from... We did that, blah, blah, blah. The greenhouse may look impressive, but like all Spacer's Choice products, it is cheap and unreliable. I shall have to make some repairs with my own 2 hands. This place shall become a nursery. Before it was abandoned, I understood the horticulturalists failed to produce a single viable crop, something about the soil being too poor. I am determined to find a way. May the eternal smile upon my endeavors. Well, she checks out. She is a nice lady. All right, let's run around here a little bit. Check out this settlement. See what we can do. See if there's stuff to take. Oh, look, now if I take things, I will be stealing. And I don't know how that works. She'll always see me. She might judge me. I think they actually have to see you. People in town have to see you for it to have consequences, but I'm not going to try it here. Certainly not going to try to mess up this relationship. Oh, God. All right, well, let's talk to the chicken. This is the first glitch I've seen. Little bouncer. Maybe the chicken had fleas, was freaking out. We'll say that was the case. Let's run around town a little bit.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Oh, yeah? Where is he at? Thomas? Are you Thomas? No, you're just a deserter.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Okay. These are all just generic
Keep your
deserters.
wits about you, friend.
I wanted to go talk to Thomas with her. Oh, here we go. Here's Thomas. Thomas Kemp.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering.
And we discovered a workbench.
Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi.
He doesn't like her at all.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague.
That's a good thing.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see.
Someone's been chewing on you?
Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Well, Engineering 5. I'll get some XP if I do that one. Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get.
45
I set
XP.
my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering?
Nope.
Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads.
Ooh, I'm getting a fetch
greatly
quest.
obliged.
Okay. I expect a fair price for my trouble.
I'll pay you for every pad you bring me. If, by some miracle, you can bring me the full set, I'll give you something pretty I've been saving for a lucky day.
Oh. You mentioned 2 pads. What about the 3rd?
I wish I knew. I wager the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the 3rd's gone, I can't say.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll let you know if I find anything.
Would you? I'd be grateful.
I should go. I'm always curious what these are, though.
What's on your mind?
Nah, those are all boring. Okay. All right, let's go. Now, hopefully the frames and everything are okay on this. I noticed in the last 3 episodes, it was a little jittery when I was moving. I did turn the graphical options down a little bit. And when I go over to, well, I guess I can't do it when I'm actually in the game. I turned it down a bit. And hopefully it's better now. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't super smooth. Hopefully we're good now. So anyway, this is a workbench. If I needed to repair my stuff and all that, I could use that. I think we're okay. That's 72%. That's at 0%. Ooh. We can't even use that if we wanted to. It doesn't seem like the best gun anyway. We'll hold on with that. It's kind of dark, so... Oh, bam. There's a mine on the ground. Oh, God. Oh, there's a mine. There's a mine. There's a mine. All right. We will look out for that. Super dark over here. It's funny, if you put a mine down, why would you put lights on it? And I'm getting some effects from that mine. Look how I'm all blurry around the edges here. Okay. I think we're probably done in town. You never know, though. This definitely rewards you for poking around. Oh, that would be stealing. Yeah, it still seems a little vibrational when I move around. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Not sure what I could do to fix that. Let's look at our quest real quick. Let's see, in the journal. So now we got... Comes now the power. So we could go straight to diverting the power from the geothermal plant. This one is my quest from... Oh, what's his face? I'm trying to remember the name of the guy the mad scientist who rescued us. Phineas. And that also gives us the same thing, to divert power from the geothermal plant. And then we got to go get that regulator and fix the ship. So these two are related. And then we got some side quests here. We got 3 of them. So last time I went ahead and I did this. And I had to make my choice, which gets harder than you think. I'll just give you a little foreshadowing on that. But before I do that, we want to do some things. I want to maybe do some of these side quests, but maybe at least we'll go back to town and explore town a little bit. You know what I am going to do? Real quick, just to make sure you viewers have the best experience, is let's save right here. And then we can save on top of this now. Yeah, we can do that. And then let's quit. Actually, no. Let's go back. Let's go to the main menu. Yes. And let's mess around with the visuals a little bit. See if we can get it real smooth. So over here in graphics, you don't have a ton of options. I did lower it down to 60 frame rate because that's what I'm recording in. So I thought I'd take it as easy as possible. I won't need vertical sync if I'm at 60. My monitor is 144. 3D resolution. To render the game at a lower fidelity. We don't really want to do that. I did turn motion blur all the way down. I did gamma according to the adjustments it gives me here. If I use detect graphics settings, now I've got a 1080 Ti. Oh, it didn't change it this time. Before, it just made everything high. Oh, no, it did change it. It changed screen effects to very high, view distance to just high. I guess we could try their recommendations. What I had done is turn these down. This is like the blurring stuff around the edge of my screen, and turn this up. But that's probably one of the more demanding things is view distance. And textures, I like my textures. Oh, you haven't seen any framing? Awesome. Okay, that's good to know. So this is how I had adjusted it. Those could probably be medium. Those aren't very important, and shadows aren't very important. They're usually a good way to get a little performance. So I turned these down and turned these up. Maybe we'll turn view distance down to very high, but I want to keep my good textures. And that hopefully should be good enough. What's this? This is explosions, bullets, lasers. We're not shooting right now, so that shouldn't affect anything. Anyway, we'll apply that, keep, and see how that does. Okay, and then we'll continue. I was watching Co-Carnage play, and his is even smoother than mine. That's actually a little better. That helped. Of course, he is got one computer for playing the game and one for rendering, which is a state I'd like to get to at some point. But that's not going to happen today. If someone wants to donate $2,000 or $3,000, we'll be there tomorrow. So let's go check out Edgewater. I didn't do that last time much. Really take a little time in town and see what's going on there.